Here are 5 first-time home buyer mistakes to avoid. Number 1, get pre-approved. A lot of first-time buyers that are doing this for the first time make the big mistake of going out looking for homes before understanding what the price range is they could afford. By getting pre-approved, it identifies exactly what you can afford and tells your real estate agent exactly what type of homes he or she should be showing you. It avoids any disappointment for the buyer. It allows you to stay within a budget that you can afford, and it eliminates any reason to go into alternative financing or private financing that is more expensive. Number 2, prepare for your closing costs in addition to your down payment. A lot of first-time buyers don't understand that there's additional closing costs associated with purchasing a home. Number 1, land transfer taxes can be excessive depending on price range. There is a first-time home buyer rebate that's up to $4,000, but when you're purchasing amounts in the GTA that are close to $1 million, land transfer tax can be excessive. You also have to be aware of legal costs. You have to, if you're buying a pre-construction property, you will incur builder add-ons like hydro hookups, gas hookups, any levies that are passed on to the buyer, and you have to prepare for adjustments. If you're buying later in the year, vendors that have already paid their property taxes for the year need to be compensated for the unused time that they're not in the home. So you're gonna have to rebate them a prorated portion of the property taxes, inclusive of condo fees and stuff like that. So it's really important you prepare yourself for additional costs in addition to the down payment that you're putting on the home. Number 3, being careless with your credit score. More and more are lenders using your credit score, Beacon score, to determine your ability to qualify for their mortgage. The credit score is one of the vital pieces of the underwriting process, so it's so critical to make sure you are paying your bills on time, you are making all your credit card payments, loan payments, lines of credit payments, or student loan payments on time, so you have a good score. If you don't have a strong score or you have some bruised credit, there still is hope, and there is alternative lenders that will consider your application. But it is so important as a first-time buyer to make sure your credit score is at its optimum level and you're taking advantage of the tools and tips available to keep that score as strong and as high as possible. Number 4, fixating on your house instead of the neighborhood. When you're buying for the first time, you should always make sure you're in the right neighborhood. You can't change that. Whereas the house, if it's not the perfect house, you could always renovate it, you could always improve it, you could always update it. And if you make the mistake of not spending time to assess the neighborhood and whether it works for you, whether it's commuting, whether it's schools, transit, or whatever, you're then stuck there. So always make sure the neighborhood works well for you and meets the needs of you and your family. Number 5, waiting for the unicorn. Home buying for the first time is exciting, and everyone would like the perfect home as their first home. But the reality is, not every home is perfect. And when you're going into the market for the first time, you may not necessarily check all the boxes in your wants. So you might have to settle for maybe something smaller, might have to settle for something that's dated and you need to improve it. But rest assured, getting in the market is the right thing to do. I'm Vince Gaetano, Principal Broker of owlmortgage.ca, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.